Welcome back, viewers. You're watching the Savera and I'm Shefali. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has concluded what officials are describing as a highly impactful and wide-ranging diplomatic tour across 5 nations: Ghana, Trinidad, Tobago, Argentina, Brazil and Namibia, and has now departed for India. The Ministry of External Affairs confirmed his return journey, with spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal posting on social media that the 5-nation visit has been both productive and successful, marking yet another chapter in India's expanding global outreach. Now, the visit, which took place in the first week of July 2025, was significant not only for the bilateral engagements and honors received, but also for a diplomatic milestone achieved by the Prime Minister. With his recent addresses to the parliaments of Ghana, Trinidad and Tobago and Namibia, Prime Minister Modi has now delivered speeches in 17 foreign legislative bodies. This number equals the total combined count of such addresses made by all previous Congress Prime Minister over several decades, signaling a shift in the scale and style of India's international diplomacy. Modi's engagement on foreign soil are increasingly seen as of effort to reframe India's role on the world stage, especially in the context of the global south. Now, his latest tour has been interpreted by analysts as a deliberate attempt to strengthen relationships with the countries across Africa and Caribbean and Latin America regions often seen as unrepresented in the global governance architecture. Now, this approach reflects India's push for a more inclusive and multipolar world order. The contrast with previous administrations is particularly striking. Former Prime Ministers from the Congress Party, Manmohan Singh, Indira Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajiv Gandhi and VP Narasimha Rao, delivered a total of 17 parliament speeches abroad combined, spread over many years. Modi has reached the same number in just over a decade, underscoring a more proactive and globally visible diplomatic style. Symbolism and history were woven throughout the tour. In Ghana, Modi became the first Indian Prime Minister in over 30 years to visit the country and was awarded as the Order of the Star of Ghana, the nation's highest civilian honor. In Trinidad and Tobago, he addressed the parliament during commemorations, making 180 years since the arrival of Indians in the country, a movement that also highlighted long-standing ties with the Indian diaspora. Now, his address there touched on themes of historical solidarity and India's enduring support for developing nations. Notably, he spoke from a parliament chamber that still features the speaker's chair gifted by India in 1968, an object that serves as a reminder of India's early outreach to post-colonial societies. Namibia offered one of the most emotional, resonant moments of the tour. The Namibian Parliament welcomed Modi with a standing ovation, and chants of "Modi, Modi" echoed through the chamber following his speech. Now, during this session, he emphasized democratic values, mutual aspirations in health and digital innovation, and the need for stronger technological cooperation. The government of Namibia also conferred upon him the nation's highest civilian award, making it a moment of both symbolic and strategic significance. Now, these latest engagements build on decade-long series of address to foreign parliaments, starting with 2014 speeches in Australia, Fiji, Bhutan and Nepal. In 2015, Modi spoke in Britain, Sri Lanka, Mongolia, Afghanistan and Mauritius. His addresses to the US Congress in 2016 and 2023 further cemented bilateral ties with Washington. In subsequent years, they continued to build up this pattern, speaking in Uganda in 2018, the Maldives in 2019, Guyana in 2024, and now there are 3 more nations in 2025. Now, throughout these addresses, certain themes have remained consistent: calls for inclusive and sustainable development, the strengthening of democratic institutions, the importance of climate responsibility, and the urgent need to reform global platforms like the United Nations and the World Trade Organization. Observers have noted that this consistency in messaging, combined with direct engagement with lawmakers, has allowed India to build long-term goodwill and a strong network of diplomatic trust. Now, Modi's international presence is increasingly being intercepted as a reflection of India's growing geopolitical relevance. Now, his ability to connect directly with foreign legislators, often in culturally resonant ways, has given India a voice in settings where major powers have traditionally dominated discourse. As India prepares to assume leadership of the BRICS grouping in 2026, its assertive diplomatic posture under Modi is likely to continue. The nation's increasing involvement in shaping the future of multilateralism and global development frameworks is being viewed not only as a testament for its rising economic power, but also to its evolving diplomatic confidence. In the broader context, Modi's recent tour is being seen not merely as a series of ceremonial visits, but as a celebrated effort to solidify India's influence in key regions, with strategic relationships deepening in Africa, the Caribbean, and Latin America. India's voice, rooted in partnership, equality, and shared aspirations, is resonating with greater clarity on the global stage. That's all for now on this update. Stay tuned to the Savera, download the app, and follow us on various social media platforms.